Doflamingo, the man, the myth, the menace. He's done a lot of unforgivable things, and I won't list them all. Regicide, coup d'etat, manipulating people with his powers, running a black market empire, abduction, trafficking, organized brainwashing, high treason, and there's more? To the world, he was a tyrant, a warlord, a devil in a pink feathered coat. But before the cruelty, before the empire, he was just a boy. A boy betrayed by the very world that he was born to rule. So, dare I say it, Doflamingo did nothing wrong. Doflamingo was born into the Donquixote family, one of the OG celestial dragon families, meaning he literally had it all from the moment he was born. Essentially, he had endless wealth with perfect credit. He lived in a world completely untouched by poverty, war, stress, or suffering. As a child, he lived in Mary Joie, enjoying the privileges and luxuries afforded to a godlike class that considers common people beneath them. And well, they were, literally. Celestial dragons literally looked down upon them, as it was their divine right. That is, until his father, Donquixote Homing, started drawing. He had a wild take. He was like, you know what? I'm tired of seeing the corruption and the worst of people. The worst of people being celestial dragons. Honestly, seeing these people like this is disgusting me. So, he renounced his status as a celestial dragon because he believed in living a normal and humble life. He thought he could move on and find redemption. He was wrong. His family moved to a city in the North Blue, thinking they'd be welcome. I don't know why he thought that, especially considering how much these commoners have to pay in order to afford the wants and the dreams and the lifestyle of these celestial dragons. I don't get it, but hey. So, instead of gratitude, the townspeople violently rejected them. They tortured the whole family, blaming them for centuries of pain caused by the celestial dragons. Y'all get it though. Doflamingo and his family were hunted, starved, and tortured. They even had their house burned down, forcing them to live in the remnants and ruins of their previous modest home. Within these ruins is, unfortunately, where the demon was born. You see, Doflamingo's mom died during this period due to her inability to survive these new harsh conditions that they were thrust into after their descent from godliness. And this loss caused that young boy to snap. Remember, he's a child. He is only like between 8 to 10 years old and he lost everything. So yeah, he snapped. He hated the world for his cruelty. He hated himself for the weakness he had to show. And above all else, he hated his father for abandoning godhood, for giving up everything, for making them human. Traumatized and enraged, Doflamingo shot his own father with a pistol. Can't even fault him. Here's the creepy part though. He took his dad's severed head up to the celestial dragons. He somehow found a way back to Mary Joie and presented the head, trying to undo the mistakes of the former head of the family. Unfortunately, gods do not welcome back the fallen. From that point on, Doflamingo developed this twisted philosophy. The weak are destined to be ruled by the strong, and the world is but a sea of trash. And into that trash, he descended. Rejected by the celestial dragons, cast aside by the world, Doflamingo spiraled into madness. He wandered, broken and enraged, until he was discovered by 4 men who will become his most loyal people: Treble, Diamante, Virgo, and Pika. Treble gave him a gun, a power, and a title, saying, "You are the one who rule over everything. You are the true king." For real, they put a battery in that kid back because he was just a lost kid who lost his father, didn't know what to do, but here you put a gun in his hand. Y'all got it. This is what we call grooming. But from that moment, Doflamingo began climbing back to the top. This time, not as a celestial dragon. No, this time, he did it as a pirate, as a warlord, and as a broker of chaos. He rebuilt the Donquixote family in his image, took over Dressrosa, and became the man the world would come to fear. But beneath the feathers, the shades, the smiles, was always that boy, the one who had everything, and then lost it. While Doflamingo's actions were monstrous, they were never mindless. To him, the world was already broken. Justice, morality, peace, They were illusions crafted by those in power, and he wanted to tear those illusions apart. And as Doflamingo aged, he became immensely powerful and dangerously influential, but not just as a fighter, but as a manipulator of world affairs. You see, he was far more than just a warlord. He was a kingmaker, a weapons dealer, and a puppeteer who pulled the strings of the criminal underworld and even the world government. These strings, like his will, were unbreakable. And that's probably because he ate the Ito Ito no Mi, or the string fruit. Paramecia fruit allows him to create and manipulate string. With it, he could slice opponents from a distance, opponents or objects. He definitely chopped up a bridge and a building and a whole bunch of stuff. Nothing is safe from his strings. He could control people like puppets or marionette. Very fitting for a manipulating man. He could fly by attaching clouds to strings. That's creativity, man, smart. And he can even create literal string clones and cages capable of cutting through the island. Y'all saw the bird cage. Who else did it? Not even a meteor got through that, John. But man, let's talk about power. This guy had it in spades. He also took his power to the next level by allowing us to see what a devil fruit awakening looks like in real time. This man truly unlocked all of his potential. Not to mention he's already a capable fighter, proficient in both armament and observation hockey. But Doflamingo wasn't just brawn or wealth, he was brilliant. He manipulated an entire kingdom with Sugar's powers, making thousands of people forget the original royal family. He ran his crew like a militant mafia, with a strict internal hierarchy, loyalty, and psychological pressure. They were scared of that man. He even managed to keep Caesar Clown in check, and he controlled law through trauma. Gotta love a good sprinkle of trauma in there, really spicing things up. Every move he made had several layers of contingency, and even when he was defeated, he predicted the collapse of the global power balance, meaning he himself was always keeping the scales in balance. Because when Doflamingo fell, the world shook. Kaido lost his smile supplier, leading to the internal rebellion in Wano. The weapons trade destabilized kingdoms around the world. The world government secrets became exposed. And Dressrosa's liberation emboldened the Straw Hats legend. So the balance of power really began to shift, paving the way for the final saga. And even in Impel Down, Doflamingo is still influential and feared. I promise you, this is not the last we've seen of our boy. So, is he redeemable? Probably not in a traditional heroic or anti-hero sense, because Doflamingo is a man forged by trauma, driven by revenge, and empowered by systems more corrupt than he is. He's done unforgivable things. Murder, genocide, slavery. But unlike many villains, he didn't act out of chaos or madness. He acted with purpose. And that's what makes him so dangerously human. Redemption doesn't mean forgiveness. It means change. While he may not deserve redemption, I feel as though the world might deserve a redeemed Doflamingo, which is why I still have hope for him yet. To quote Doflamingo, those at the top decide what's wrong and what's right. And it's this way of thinking that altered the way he moved. He adopted a personality around this framework, internalizing that until he reclaims his initial seat, he'll never be right. And that has led to all his wrongdoings. Thank you for watching the video. If you made it this far, you're cool. Clearly you're either a fan or a hater of Doflamingo, or of me, or of One Piece. Regardless of why you came, I'm glad that you did. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It was maybe 10 minutes. I don't know, we'll see how editing is. But if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more anime content. And if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to see who else wasn't wrong next, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Share it with a friend. Until then, thanks again for watching. You the best.